So we all know the AI revolution is here, right? But it's got this dirty little secret, an absolutely enormous energy bill. But what if I told you the key to making AI cheaper, faster, and greener wasn't some new microchip, but a new location? Okay, let's get into this, because the future of computing might just be hiding in one of the coldest places on the planet.
Just look at that, 85%. I want you to really let that number sink in because it is the single reason tech giants and governments are suddenly looking way up north. So what is it? Well, that's the potential cost reduction for powering and, this is the really crucial part, cooling the massive data centers our entire AI world is built on. And look, this isn't some small incremental improvement. This is a total game changer. I know, seriously, that's not a typo. That is the incredible, undeniable power of Arctic physics. We're talking about using nature's own giant refrigerator to solve one of tech's biggest and most expensive headaches.
Right, so to really get why this is such a big deal, you have to understand the problem. AI models are just ridiculously power hungry. And the data centers that house them, the ones usually built in places like Virginia or Arizona, they spend an absolute fortune just on one thing, trying to keep all those servers from melting.
The way we measure this is with a metric called PUE, or Power Usage Effectiveness. Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is like a report card for energy waste. A perfect score is 1.0. That means every single watt of electricity is going straight to computing. Anything higher than that is just energy being wasted on stuff like cooling and lights. And this is where it gets really interesting. A typical data center today runs at a PUE of about 1.8. That means for every dollar you spend on computing, you're throwing another 80 cents away just on overhead. It's wild. But an Arctic data center, I can get a PUE of 1.05. I mean, that is almost perfect efficiency. That huge gap between the two, that's literally billions of dollars just being burned as waste heat every single year. So how do we fix this? Well, the answer isn't some brand new technology. It's a new location. We're heading to Greenland, where the environment itself is the solution. This really lays it all out, doesn't it? In a hot climate, you have to use brute force, these massive, power-guzzling mechanical chillers. They're basically just giant, expensive air conditioners. In the Arctic, you use direct air cooling. You literally just open a vent and use the free, freezing outside air. It's so elegant, so simple, and unbelievably cheap. And that simplicity pays off in another huge way: speed. Building a traditional data center with all its complex cooling systems can take 2.5 years. An Arctic facility? Because the cooling is so much simpler, you can have it up and running in as little as 15 months. In the world of AI, getting to market a year ahead of schedule is a colossal advantage. Okay, so the physics are on our side. The engineering is simpler. Now let's translate all of that into the language everyone understands: dollars and cents. Just take a look at this. This is the 10-year cost of running one single 100-megawatt facility. In a hot climate like Virginia, you're looking at over $1.5 billion. In the Arctic, under $800 million. Now, the IT equipment itself, the servers, they cost the same. But look at the savings on construction, power, and especially cooling. They are just staggering. So let's just focus on that bottom line number for a second. That is a $725 million saving for one facility. That's a total cost reduction of almost 50%. This isn't just about shaving off a few percentage points. It's a fundamental economic earthquake for the industry. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? What costs $1.5 billion in Virginia costs $900 million in Greenland, while using 75% less energy. That right there is the core of this entire opportunity. It's just that simple. And you might be asking, well, where does all the power come from? This is the other beautiful piece of the puzzle. At a place called Cape Farewell in Greenland, you have some of the most consistent, powerful winds on the entire planet. Plus, you have powerful ocean currents, giving you 24/7 baseload power. And for storing all that energy, vanadium flow batteries, which, get this, last twice as long as lithium-ion and are perfectly happy in the cold, stable environment. It's a perfect match. So far, we've only been talking about a single data center. But what happens when you start to think bigger? What happens when you scale this idea up to a national level? Well, this is where the numbers stop being about billions and start being about trillions in value. So the analysis breaks it down into 3 possible scenarios for a U.S. build-out in the Arctic.
You've got a conservative plan for 20 gigawatts of power, an aggressive one for 50 gigawatts, and then a dominant scenario for 80 gigawatts of computing power. Now, look at the value this creates in just 10 years. That aggressive scenario, building 50 gigawatts of capacity, creates an unbelievable $666 billion in value, compared to building that same capacity in traditional spots. That number is a mix of lower construction costs and just massive operational savings over time. We're talking about an economic prize on a global scale.
And a prize that big brings us to the final and most critical point. This is not just some cool engineering project or a great business idea. This is a geopolitical race, and it's already started. For a country like the United States, the advantages are just crystal clear. First, you get cost leadership in AI, the defining technology of our lifetime. Second, you get secure, geographically isolated infrastructure, which is a huge deal for national security. And maybe most importantly, it gives you a powerful strategic counter to China's Polar Silk Road initiative, which is already making big moves in the Arctic. And, this isn't some 50-year-out fantasy. The plan is actionable and it's designed to move fast. We're talking pilot projects in the next couple of years, scaling up very quickly after that, and achieving a dominant position before the end of this decade. So, there you have it. The Arctic is about to become the next great frontier for data, for AI, for computation. It's shaping up to be a new kind of Cold War, one fought with servers and processing power. The only real question left is not if this is going to happen, but who is going to get there first to claim the ultimate strategic high ground of the 21st century.